Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away to make your life faster, easier, and better. And here's your hosts, Lee and Ellen.
Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm your co-host, Ellen Goodwin, with my co-host,
Lee Silber.
So Lee, I thought today we would talk about how to be efficient and productive in the winter.
Perfect.
Perfect. So here is like full disclosure. We live in San Diego.
I was just going to say, we have 4 seasons. Summer, not quite summer, almost summer again, and summer.
Exactly. So we do have days where it gets a little chilly, maybe in the 60s.
We shouldn't brag.
No, we shouldn't. But what we're looking at is there's a whole bunch of people that live where winter shows up. My family lives in Minnesota and Nebraska, and it is cold and dreary for like 27 months out of the year. So they need to know how to be productive. So what do you got?
Well, I'm a full believer that the sun is a killer of motivation as it relates to work.
This
Meaning,
is true.
I lived in Hawaii, and I felt like, man, it's just, does nobody work? Does nobody have any goals? What is wrong with you people? And they just enjoyed the sun. When the sun was out, they were doing sun outdoor things. Work
Right.
always, came later, maybe at night, whatever. And then I thought, well, what about Seattle? It's almost, half of the
Rains.
year or longer. It's rainy, cloudy, and dismal. And all right, we got, let's see, LL Bean, Starbucks, Nordstrom, and I'm sure there's other large companies, Boeing, Microsoft. No wonder.
They got nothing better to do than be productive.
But that's the point, is so sometimes if you do live in a warmer climate, you almost have to lock yourself away.
This is true.
And not be able to distract. I mean, it doesn't take much, let's be honest,
Right.
to get ourselves away from what we could or should or would be doing if it wasn't for that little glimmer of light peeking through the blinds. I keep my blinds drawn.
Really?
And create a kind of a darker atmosphere when I'm trying to concentrate.
Gotcha.
And I mean, another full disclosure, I live by the beach and I see people walking by with boogie boards. I want to be with you. But I got work to do. I have no choice. So I shut that out and create a kind of a darker, I guess more focused environment. And it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, to back you up, there was actually a study done from Harvard Business School where they found that doesn't matter how much rain, snow, it's the sun that will make you less productive. So that being said, you've got no excuse. It's
Work at night.
winter. It's cold. So do you have any hints, any tips for you for, working through the winter?
Well, some people see the calendar as a square, like you would see a regular calendar, your desktop calendar.
Right.
I always saw the calendar as a circle. And so when I visualize the calendar, I see it in colors, and at the very top, so it's round. At the very top is January, February, and as it goes
Right.
towards spring, it turns green, then it's orange, then it's yellow, and then it's darker. So what I always do at the beginning of the year is big projects that aren't necessarily, don't need a specific deadline.
Uh-huh.
I will schedule them in the darker, knowing as I plan my year, this will be the time where I really could do that based on
Right.
the amount of light, how much, motivation, what other things are going on. Because usually there's that period where things start to slow down in December, where everyone's kind of already, they've checked out. I mean,
Right.
they've moved on to, well, I'll get to it next year. But that's a really productive time for me. So how you see the year, I see it not just in dates and numbers and months, and I see it as a circle with colors and periods of time where I know during the summer will be my light work. And so I try and visualize the year and put my big projects in that time frame where I know I'm not going to be distracted by
Good weather.
summer. Yeah. good
Okay.
weather.
Okay. Some of the things I always try to do, when I was in the cold weather, or I tell people, clients that I'm working with, um, you're less active, when it's cold. So figure out ways to be more active, be more social, because being social with people makes you more productive. You talk like, hey, we're talking about what you're doing. Um, give yourself.
Ironically, I'm the opposite. When I
You don't want to be around people.
no, I want to just be hibernating. I'm a bear. Look at me. I'm a bear. I hibernate in the winter, get my work done, so that I can come out and play in the summer.
Well, and you also want to guard against SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
Oh,
People not just being sad, but like people that you're not getting enough light. So make it a point to get outside to get the light. If you need to, you can get artificial lights just made for that reason. So you aren't getting depressed and sad because it's
does
depressing
beer
and sad.
have vitamin D?
Beer does not.
Melatonin?
No.
Dang it.
No, I wish. And make the future, think about ways that you can make your future self happy. Okay, you're going into winter and it's sad. You're like, oh, all your summer clothes, before you put them away, do something, make sure they're all clean. Put notes in there when you fold them and put them away.
That's nice.
Something that, oh my gosh, it's spring. I'm getting my clothes off and like, clothes off.
Oh.
Clothes. Oh my goodness, I'm getting my clothes out
Right.
of storage and they're clean and fresh. And here's a note from myself saying, hey, enjoy the spring. So do something nice for yourself
I like
ahead.
that. I'm going to do that. That's
Yeah,
good.
think
Good
of
one,
your
Ellen.
future self. We just did that. We were gone for Thanksgiving. And before we left, I made a point of putting fresh sheets on the bed so that my future self, who came back tired and exhausted because we didn't get in till 1 a.m, oh my gosh, my future self gave me clean sheets. So do something nice with your future self.
What should I do with my winter stuff? Put like a black orchid in there?
You're going to hate wearing these. I think maybe the note in the spring should be, I hope you fit in these still.
Right, yeah. Good point. When you're hibernating.
Yeah. Which brings up a really good point. Eat healthy. Because if you're eating healthy food.
Why are you pointing at me?
Well, no, because you're there. I can point at me too. Eat healthy during the winter.
Good point.
You
I agree.
you want to eat. You really want to
Comfort
eat
foods,
comfort
yeah.
food.
You got the excuse.
But that's not going to help you. So, for
Lay out
those
the
of
mashed
you,
potatoes,
lay
Lee.
off. For those of you in the winter are dealing with winter bad weather, things like that, there are ways that you can be efficient and productive.
Use it.
So
Use that time.
use it. Remember,
That time can
you can
be
get
productive.
more done without the sun.
Or move to Seattle, because apparently you can get a lot done up there.
Exactly. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll be with you again next week.